Hey guys.
I'm Jerry.
I'm Sierra.
We're ladies.
And we tangent. And
what's up, everyone? Hello. How are we doing? I don't know where we are in space and time.
I don't know when this is going to air.
It's stressing me out.
Is it fall yet? Because right now,
I don't know if this
it's
is supposed to come out because last week, well, shit. I don't know if it was last week because when we did, so Sierra and I have been planning for her maternity leave and trying to schedule other videos.
You know what's funny? When we did it, it all made sense to me. And now I look back at it and I'm like, what?
I know. I'm like, why did we do it this way? And because we've changed it.
Yes.
We've changed at least 4 episodes.
Confusing.
I know. I don't know when this is coming out. And I feel like mentally, I'm not going to be able to do well if I don't know when this is coming out.
That's true. Okay, so happy September or October sometime.
Happy definitely Tuesday.
Probably Tuesday. For sure Tuesday. Probably fall.
Yeah.
I would say that we're in the fall. I hope that the weather's not 90 degrees anymore because I'm about really tired of that, I'll be honest.
I wonder, those of you who are like in hot states all the time.
Yeah, like in California.
How do you do that?
Like, 90 degrees. We have that always.
I know. They get like 60-degree weather and they get like parkas out. And we're like, that's shorts weather.
That literally is shorts weather.
Shorts and flip-flops.
Ugh. I can't wait.
Flippy floppies.
60s to 70s are like perf.
Well, when Shane and I were daydreaming.
Well, you have to tell me if I have lipstick on my teeth. Teeth? P-teeth.
On your P-teeth?
Teeth, by the way.
We'll do. But when Shane and I were daydreaming one day, we were trying to figure out what state we wanted to live in. And this was before the podcast became our potential full-time job. And now, like, we can't leave because I know you won't leave.
Nope, I can't.
You would leave.
I would.
Corey won't leave. So
my partner.
Corey is
my partner.
stunting our growth.
He really is. To be fair, I couldn't leave anyways for the next at least 8 years.
Oh yeah, Noah.
I know.
God damn it, Noah. No. What was I talking about? States.
Yes, daydreaming.
Okay. So we were daydreaming about states, and we were saying we were comparing like the cost of living, the temperature,
it's important,
and what they voted, whether they were red or blue.
That's all important. I'm telling you.
And what national parks were there? So we were going through, and we're like,
parks are scary.
No, they're beautiful. Well, depends.
I don't know. Animals scare me.
It's
like free range animals.
Yeah, but I have been in like several national parks and I have not seen a scary animal. Maybe
that's because me and Noah watched like nature documentaries where they're like in the thick of where all the animals are. So I'm like, this is just like in Wyoming and there's like bobcats and shit.
I'm sure that a bobcat is like the least of Wyoming's problems.
Bears, maybe.
Yeah. Well, when I was in Washington, there was like a group of people. We have bears here. You know that, right?
One did run by my mom's house one time.
I know.
Remember that one that ran through the park?
Yes.
Ah! It was a baby.
Anyway, but when we were doing that, the states that we wanted to go in, their temperature range was like the lowest was 40 and like the highest was 80. Perfection.
Does that still happen with global warming? Because
I mean, as of now, it was like their current temperature range. So yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, one of the states was Washington.
Yeah.
And their range was like 40 to 80.
Washington sounds
when
lovely.
When I was there, it was 110.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was uncharacteristic.
Because remember, in like the 90s in Ohio, it really didn't, it was like crazy if it got to 90s.
Oh, that was a hot day.
Yeah. Well, and that's like where we live in the summer now.
We had snow days in October.
Yeah.
And now October is basically still summer.
I remember what?
Are we talking about the fucking weather? Is that what this is? Oh my God. How 30 of us. So sorry.
But I will say one more thing. Okay. Remember like 2 or 3 years ago on Christmas Eve? Now again, people who live in like California and Arizona and all those, you're like, whatever. But for us in Ohio, we had a Christmas Eve one time where we were in short sleeves outside.
Yes,
like
my parents have a half basketball court Outback. I think I talked in one episode about how we never went on family vacation. They just like spent all of our money like at the house.
Yeah.
So we had a half basketball court in the backyard, big basketball family. And we played games outside at night.
That was so fun.
We played like that heads up game.
Yeah.
You remember?
That
we
was
went
really
freaking
fun.
hard.
We did. That's one of my favorite Christmases.
I know. That was
Everybody's like
Christmas.
white Christmas. I'm like, I kind of like 70-degree Christmas better.
Yeah, 70 Christmas is kind of cool.
Yeah. It was a little concerning because of global warming, but
for sure.
Yeah.
So
and then we did have snow all the way up until Easter.
Yeah, well, I think I've talked about this before, but Shane has a theory that the seasons are shifting.
They are. That's
in
what
addition
I think
to global warming.
Change.
He definitely believes in climate change. But
yeah. But I think that's like the main thing of climate change is that they're all shifting and they're going to just kind of get like spring and fall are just going to get non-existent short. And it's just going to be like either winter or
winter.
Wiener?
They're going to get rid of the tea in winter as well.
Summer. Yeah. Anyways, enough about the weather.
I know.
What else is going on?
Time out. I have to figure out when this is coming out because I have a story for you.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Are we doing October, November, September, October?
What? Don't talk to me right now. I gotta do math in my head. Okay. So, oh no. This is coming. No, this will come out on the 28th. So because Love Bombing, Trauma Bonding was a double guy, that one, I can't breathe. I ran too fast. I did the whole skip steps thing. That's going to come out on the 21st. This one is coming out on the 28th, which means update on my vagina.
Oh.
Are we ready?
Is it better?
Let me tell you a story.
Wait, so this is going to be after next week's?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, what's happening with it?
So, if you listened last week, you heard that my vagina smelled like Lake Erie, okay? So, I made an appointment. I do not like going to the doctor. I do not like calling the doctor. I get embarrassed every time I go to my gyno because they're like, who's your what's it called?
Primary care doctor?
Yeah, who's your primary physician? And I go, I don't have one.
I'm 30 and I still don't have one.
Guess what? You are.
I thought that's all I needed to check up on.
Yeah. So anyway, I call. I say, hey. I tried to do that GoodRx thing that you and I talked about, and I filled out all of this stuff, and I said, my vagina stinks, and they're like, does it itch? And I'm like, no. And they're like, does stuff burn? I'm like, no. And they're like,
discharge, what's happening?
Yeah, do you have all XYZ? And I'm like, absolutely not. I just have stinks. I don't know what to do.
Help.
So they're like, you have something we don't treat. And I'm like, well, that's good for me.
Go see a doctor.
How special I feel. So I call the doctor and I leave a message and I'm just like, hi, I'm Jerry and my crotch stinks. So uncomfortable to leave a voicemail, a detailed message. Okay. So
I hate that when they're like, okay, one time, sorry, I have to hijack, but one time I had to do that for hemorrhoids. And I was like, so I got this big guy, right? And he's kind of half in, he's half out. And I'm like, I'm leaving this on a message, right? This is going to get traced back to me.
Also, this is how you spell my last name and my phone number. Okay. Talk to you soon. Bye.
And then you have to do, thank you so much. Goodbye.
Thank you so much. Look forward to hearing from you. So she calls back and she's like, I think you need to come in. I'm like, this isn't something, like, you know what I have.
Yeah.
You know I probably have BV.
Right.
Just write me the
it's
script.
very normal, by the way. So if anybody's watching and they're like, oh, that means you're not, like, clean. No, it's not. It's such a normal thing that happens to women.
100%. And
also, please go to the doctor if you're wondering. If you're like, I'm just gonna pretend like this is not happening.
This is your sign to go to the doctor.
It doesn't mean you're dirty. The doctors are not gonna judge you. They see it all the time. Okay.
Yes. So I go in and they ask the same set of questions over and over again. I just have to be like, I just stink. It just smells funky. I don't know what to tell you. I noticed it after.
I was in a lake.
That's what I said. And
then
so
things are happening.
The doctor said it can happen after you, after intercourse with a new partner. Obviously, that was not it.
That's what happened to me.
And then she said, but it also could happen from like a hot tub, frequent tub bathing. And I was like, oh my God, my feels cauldron. Yes. And she goes, but the lake makes perfect sense.
Yes.
That's probably what it's from. Everything you're describing to me is classic BV.
Yep.
And I'm just going to swab you real quick. And then I'm going to take this under a microscope. If it's there, I'll write you a script. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Something you can just microscope and check out.
She goes, scoot your butt cheeks all the way down here, girly. And I'm like, here I come. So my feet are in the stirrups and I'm just scooching down.
Here I go.
And she takes the duck thing and opens me up.
Sure.
And she gets her little Q-tip and she goes in and she says, what you got in here?
Don't tell me.
I said, I don't know, lady. What do you mean? What do I have in there? This is not a purse. I wasn't keeping anything in there. Your guess is as good as mine. And I feel her now getting like
really opening it up.
She's got two now, and I don't even know what to explain. Yes, 2 Q-tips. I don't know how to explain what she's doing to me right now. And she pulls out a tampon.
I knew it.
She said, when was your last period? And I said, I just started it. And she's like,
that's been in there for a month.
For a month.
Oh.
For a month. I noticed it in Michigan, which means it had been in there before my trip to Michigan.
Oh my God.
And my period was a week before I went to Michigan. So it could be from that one. Or it could be longer. I'm guessing it was that one.
Did you have 2 in there at one time?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been drunk
before.
I
had a penis in there and my tampon at the same time. Yeah. I was like, Shade, how did you not notice? He's like, I don't know. Felt normal to me. And I'm like, oh, do I have a cotton feeling vagina? At that point, I have a cotton nitty bucket.
At that point, I don't think it was much cotton anymore.
No, she pulled it out and it looked like roadkill. It was like...
It's like, listen, lady, I've seen some shit.
For sure. And it had. She goes, well, there's your culprit. And I'm like, well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, a good RX couldn't have done shit for you.
No one could have. Thank God I went to the doctor.
Wow.
I know.
You kept that from me this whole time.
I know. I had to keep it from you.
Yeah.
I acted like nothing. I acted like it was routine.
I was like, you're on it. Oh, you are on an antibiotic.
Yes, I am on an antibiotic because she's like, that was in there for a month. And she's like, do you have any pelvic pain? Do you have, she's like going through all toxic shock syndrome symptoms. And I'm like, I got nothing. She's like, this is honestly impressive.
I know people who have had them up there for about as long. I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
Like, that's not an uncommon thing, which is crazy.
Well, she goes, I'm going to write this antibiotic. I am certain now that you also have BV, but this is what's causing the smell.
Yes.
And then she said, I want you to get this gel that's Refresh, and it's got the pH.
Yeah.
And I was like, great. We love a pun, don't we?
And then I
just started laughing, and she's like, it's okay. And I'm like, sorry, I'm just trying to cope because I'm very embarrassed. And then I also looked like shit. Yeah. So my hair was like on top of my head, messy bun style. Right. She walked in. I'm telling Shane this story. And I said, she walked in and she told me my hair was cute. And Shane goes, down there? And I was like, no, it's not down there. Can you imagine?
And she's like, oh, girl, looking good.
Cute hair. It's red, huh?
I knew it.
Yeah, I was like, no, she was talking about my messy bun
down there.
But it would have made more sense if she was complimenting my pubes rather than my hair, because it was more tailored than my actual head hair.
Was it? Oh, because you had a messy bun.
Yeah, on my head.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
that is
not on my trout mouth at the moment.
Let me tell you something. I've had multiple times where I've gotten drunk and forgot that I didn't take it out and put one in, and then the next morning I'm like, Toosies! How in the fuck?
Well, I wish that would have happened.
What a surprise.
But I saw it, and the string was flapped up. That was probably Shane's fault. But the string was flapped up onto the top part of it, and I was like, how was I to reach?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not fair. It took the string away.
That's why I don't use tampons.
Well, I told her, I go, that's the last one that'll ever be in me.
Yeah. I never use them.
Good for you. Thanks for removing that, doc. She's like, I'm glad it all came out in one piece. And I'm like, what? Yeah. She's like, well, it's been in there a while. It could have broken off. And I'm like,
disintegrate.
Yeah.
Your poor vagina was working overtime to clean that out. It was like, come on, girl.
The fact that the smell is the only issue I had in this month, I'm kind of proud of myself, especially because my diet, I am not providing myself with the nutrients that it needed to deal with that. Yeah.
That's really great. So, well, hey, I'm glad you're still here with us because that's scary.
I know. I'm laughing about it now because I've had a little bit of time to process, but like, what a horrific moment for me.
It is.
Yeah.
Again, I know that that's not the first time I've heard that, though. I worked in a bar. I hear stories like that, like, all the time.
Well, that's never happened to me before. So initially when it happened, I felt very, very embarrassed and I felt gross. And like Shane was, we are a married couple, so we were being intimate and like I could smell it. And I'm like, how do you want to continue this with me right now? Because I fucking stink and I know I stink. And I can't think. I can't focus.
I wonder if the lake water got up in there and then just stuck to it.
Well, it was in there a week before the lake water. Like I was off my period by the time I got there.
That's what I'm saying though.
So my vagina like drank the lake water and just like
it's got cotton up in it. Shit is absorbent as fuck.
I barely was in the lake. Remember?
Doesn't take a lot.
That swimsuit was small. It wasn't covering much.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So there's that for you.
Thank you.
I guess that's kind of a scandal.
Oh my God. Jerry's crotch scandal.
Am I an early 2000s pop star? That's what I feel like.
This is like the mystery of the missing tampon.
It was in my poon.
And we found it.
Yeah.
A month too late.
Honestly.
Very scary.
But soon enough, I guess. I don't know.
If you talk to, again, if anybody's like, whatever, being children about this.
I don't care.
Well, yeah.
I mean, if I cared, I wouldn't be speaking about it to thousands of people.
Right.
But
probably hundreds.
This is my truth.
But it's fine.
Don't put that on me.
But what I was going to say is that's if you talk to anybody who's like in the field or has gone through it. Like if I told Corey even right now, and he's a nurse, but he's like done a floor on the whatever, they'll be like, yeah, that happens. It's such like a common thing.
She did look a little surprised.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I guess she
maybe
was
for how long it's been there?
I think that's why. I think she was shocked that I didn't have additional symptoms. She's like, there's no way that you have one singular symptom and you have had decaying cotton and other bodily stuff in you for a month. But I did. Go me.
Good for you.
So.
Give her that poos. Impressive.
Okay, well.
Stop it.
Yeah. You good?
What's going on?
Oh, what's going on?
What's going on?
Why is that happening?
I don't understand.
It's a ghost? Hold on.
Near my face.
I'll just let go. I'll turn the entire thing. What's happening?
I'm upset. Just don't want to be talking to that. It starts drifting away from me. It's scary. Okay. What?
Her boyfriend's missing.
Who? The girls? Gabby's?
What?
Oh, revelation.
Guys, I'm sure you all are glued to your... She said he'd vanished.
Uh-oh.
The Gabby Petito story, which is like super tragic and like so confusing. Where did he go? Did who go? Her boyfriend is missing. That dude fucking vanished. What?
Well, I don't want to say anything for speculation reasons, but that sounds sketchy to me.
It says Brian Laundrie is now also missing.
What the hell is going on?
What's going on? Brett Michaels. Okay, Brian Laundrie, oh my God, sorry. Brian Laundrie, the tight-lipped boyfriend of missing Long Island native Gabby Petito, is now missing himself and hasn't been seen for days. Laundrie's lawyer said his client's whereabouts are unknown and said the FBI is now looking for both Gabby and Brian. Florida police told the Post his family has reported that they have not seen Brian as of Tuesday. Police were called to the Laundrie's Northport, Florida home at his family's request to talk with them Friday evening. One of the officers entered the home with what appeared to be an evidence bag as protesters surrounding the property yelled, "Bring him out."
Whoa.
What is happening?
I don't understand. That whole thing is... it's going to be one of those things that's until I have all the answers, I'm going to be like, what? Not that I'm owed all the answers, but it's just, I'm so curious.
Well, it's captivated the nation. Like I told Shane whenever we were growing up, and we've talked before about how JonBenet Ramsey was like plastered everywhere, and it was like all consuming because it was like seemingly had no answer.
Right.
And I mean, I people now have pretty solid theories, but like
still, we don't know for sure, and I don't know that we ever will.
Wow, that's another scandal. I guess breaking scandal news.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Well, are you ready for more?
Yeah, I'm ready for more.
Oh my God. I'm very excited.
I'm on an antibiotic, so sorry Tequila Jerry's not present, but hot appy cider Jerry's here. She would love to pour some Fireball in here.
Oh.
If you're an OG, you know.
I wish. I can't wait till I can drink again. Oh, I was just saying that. God, it's like month 8 is when I'm really like, okay, now I miss alcohol. Mm-hmm. I miss it so much. I just miss being able to I don't want to get drunk.
Yeah.
I just want to casually drink.
Yeah, because you like the taste.
Yes.
You like, yeah.
And just to have a little buzz on would be fun. Okay, ready? So this one says, oh, okay. So this is more of a family scandal, so I don't know if this counts. It does. But I'm going to tell it anyways. My grandfather died in 2015. He was kind of a dick, honestly. So many stories of how he would just say the rudest shit and then be surprised when someone wasn't super receptive of it. Older people, am I right?
Yeah.
And from what my mom told me, it was a miracle that he and my grandmother stayed married, let alone had 4 kids together, my mom and her 3 brothers. You can surely imagine my surprise when about a year after he passed, a woman appeared out of nowhere to be like, well, hello there, I'm your secret aunt.
Secret aunt! Secret aunt!
That sounds hotter than
what?
Just like a secret love affair.
Oh, I thought you were talking about if like if a secret aunt came out of nowhere, you'd be like, "That's hot."
Ooh, what's up? I fucking love ants.
Yeah.
What am I talking about? Like the bug,
a giant bug. I just imagine a bug showing up at the house now, just being like, hello,
I'm yours." Turns out, hello,
Grandpa. I was here for him.
He fucked a bug.
He be bug fucking. If there's one thing Grandpa be doing,
he be bug fucking. I'm sorry. I'm only making fun because you said your grandpa's a dick.
I don't know.
We don't know him.
Yeah.
Apparently, my grandfather did the nasty with one of his fellow Canadians before he immigrated to the U.S., where he joined the military, met my grandmother.
Oh, that doesn't... different area codes, right? Yeah. Isn't that the rule? That's what my ex said.
In different area. That's what Ludacris says.
My ex was Ludacris.
Oh my God, we forgot to tell you guys.
Yeah.
Jerry dated Ludacris. It was a 90s thing.
Yeah.
Well, no, because it was a 2000s thing. He brought my grandmother, then got her pregnant. He brought my grandmother back to Canada to meet his family, I think. Details aren't super clear. And the woman he'd slept with presented him with a fully formed 2-year-old daughter, which was obviously awkward for my grandma, who was about to pop with my
Grandma knew?
Well, no, she did now. Yeah.
Wait, time out. No, aunt showed up out of nowhere as adults?
Yeah, yeah, to the kids.
Which means grandma knew.
Yeah. I know my grandmother fairly well. She passed in 97, and I can just imagine the expression on her face. Let's just say I inherited her ability to hide her emotions and reactions to things. Well, the woman was a little bit frustrated, understandably, that my grandfather had just moved on with his life and she put the toddler up for adoption. I can't really blame her. She was a single mom in the early 1950s. What other options did she really have? My mom later found paperwork that showed my grandparents tried to adopt the child themselves.
Wow.
But the arrangement fell through for some reason, and she ended up getting adopted by a great family, though, so things worked out well for her.
I'm glad, because that could have been like really sad. I mean, it's sad in general, that situation, but like it could have been worse.
Yeah. When she got older, secret aunt contacted my grandfather, but he decided that he needed to keep it a secret for some reason. Granted, he does come from a family where his sister got pregnant and his parents raised her child, their grandchild, as my grandfather's younger sister. A fact he didn't realize until he was an adult himself. So maybe that's just what he thought he had to do.
It's just normal to just like fucking
have secret kids everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Secret kids.
Spies. And bugs.
Aunt shows up and pulls a gun.
I'm a spy. He legitimately never mentioned her ever, though, and it caused quite a kerfuffle in our family.
That sentence. Good for you for reading that.
Thank you. Because, like, he somehow convinced 2 women to have sex with him despite being a turd person. That's why I added this one. Her writing is phenomenal.
Primo.
Now, he did make some pretty great children, almost in spite of himself, and Secret Aunt is no exception. She's an animal rights activist who rides...
She's an animal.
She's a dog.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I think my ADHD is really bad today. I did also have a coffee before this because I couldn't do tequila,
Yes,
so I did
like
caffeine.
Yeah.
Caffeine mixes just fine with my antibiotic.
Can't wait. Who rides Harleys and looks at men as more of seasonal accessories than anything else. I love her. And now it means that I have an escape to Canada. If I have to escape to Canada, I have an avenue. This is just my mom's side of the family. My dad's side? Oh boy. It all started when a guy decided to murder another guy and then flee from Georgia to Kentucky to avoid execution. And then he created a whole town. But that's another story for another time.
Oh my God! What a cliffhanger!
I know. I love this
Of course
person.
it was Georgia to Kentucky. Like,
I
if
know.
you could have picked two states that would make sense for.
Yep.
Whoa.
That's it. Exactly.
I want to know the town.
I know.
I have questions.
Maybe they wrote in another one. Oh, here. I'm going to do my thing that I do all the time. I didn't get to all of these. You guys, there's like 500.
No one expects us to get through all of them.
No, but I just want to say eventually, if you want to write in a follow-up, I will get to it eventually. And so just be like, hey, I'm the kerfuffle of the secret. Give us a follow-up.
I had the bug fucking third person of a grandfather.
We're just like blatantly disrespecting him. We're like, he fucks bugs.
I don't think that she was like super respectful.
No, she did call him a turd person.
Well, okay. This could be a situation where like she's allowed to talk shit, but we're not allowed to talk shit. So sorry.
For sure. I apologize.
Sorry.
I didn't mean the bug fucking.
I take back the bug fucker part.
Okay. Here's another one. For context.
Sorry, a bug fucker.
Don't do it.
Sorry. Okay.
But when they're giant or when they're small?
I don't know. I actually, we're back to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And it's really big.
When you're small, you're just climbing up there and trying to...
I'm not small.
No.
I'm nowhere to be found near this bug fucking. Okay, don't put me in this.
Oh, I want to watch.
You weirdo. There's a place for you on the internet, I'm sure.
For sure.
Welcome to the internet. Have a look around. There's bug fucking. Anyway.
Okay. Ooh, sorry, I am probably going to have Braxton Hicks this whole time. I've been having them for days. That's fine. If my water breaks on your couch, that is going to be phenomenal. You know that, right? What content?
I should have gotten it insured. Because I don't think I can find it anymore. We'll have to get a new couch. And this couch is pretty iconic, I feel like, now.
Oh, no.
Are we allowed to deem something iconic?
Yeah, we just did.
Oh, okay.
What if,
Fair enough.
Can we like steam clean amniotic fluid out of it?
I don't know. My hip's cramping.
Oh, no.
Sorry if I reveal your feet again. Okay.
Oh, wait, no. Go ahead. I got them painted.
That's how you get for free.
That's a preview. Okay. For context, I lived in quite literally the most impoverished town in England with the word... Oh.
You have to read this with an accent.
I might have missed a part, but whoopsies. But anyways, we'll start here. I lived in quite literally the most impoverished town in England.
Literally.
Literally. With the worst education rating. No, I'm going to offend
absolute worst.
If that can give you a nice picture.
It was horrible. Sorry, I don't know where you're from. I think there's different accents. My education was horrible. Hated it.
I like that one so much.
I have to like wink my eye partially in order to do it.
No, they're all kind of squinty.
Just that one. Think maybe it was the worst in the world. Sorry. I'm so sorry to anyone from the UK. Which I know who's there now because people told us.
Who?
Remember, it's like Britain and Wales and Northern Ireland.
Oh, I thought you meant like specifically.
I don't know everyone in the UK. I don't have like the registry.
I was like, who are they? Although I got out a few years ago, the majority of my friends and family still live there. During the COVID-19, oh yeah, I like the story.
I was checking out, so I'm kind of happy that you paused there.
You're gonna like this one. During the COVID-19 first lockdown, all pubs and bars were closed, which was really the biggest tragedy for most people.
I hate that.
So several illegal pubs were set up in people's homes and backyards.
Speakeasies!
Yes! Do they call them that in Europe?
I don't know.
Or is that an American thing? I feel like we definitely took that from someone's culture. As we do with most things. Including my mother's neighbor's yard, where people would party and drink till 3 a.m. most nights. It was insufferably loud, but she never reported it because that was a death sentence. Oh. Some of these were shut down by police, but not many. It all came to a head when my uncle, who's a police officer, went undercover and did a pub crawl in all of the illegal pubs in the town. A plan he told no one except me, and I did warn him, but he was determined. He wanted to stop the spread of COVID, but did not consider how many pubs there would be. However, he got so drunk as a result, he forgot to call it in and passed out in a kebab shop. He also got COVID as a result.
Oh no!
But thankfully he lived, but it was a close thing. That's so good!
That's terrifying! Well, what a fucking way to go!
No. Lots of these.
I'm gonna blow the roof off this thing.
And then he just gets fucking yes. He's like, oh no, I'm undercover.
I'm gonna shut down this whole operation right here.
Hey, don't tell your friends, but I'm undercover, mate.
Are you Australian? Do they say? I think they say mate.
Friend. Lots of the pubs shut themselves down in fear of getting reported, but my uncle had been so drunk he could not remember where any of the pubs had been anyway. His heart had been in the right place, but his execution was way off. And now my family, this is sad. Now my family is hated and known as anti-alcohol, which is the biggest crime in England and punishable. Luckily, my grandma ratted out one of the rich families for the husband and wife had an affair, illegitimate children, and for tax fraud. So the attention was off of us pretty quick. And
damn, way to go. Grandma's like, I've been waiting for the day.
Don't worry. I'm going to save our family.
Have no fear, darlings. Grandma's going to handle this.
I just love that he was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get all of these shut down. But you can't go to a pub crawl and not drink because people are going to be like, why are you here?
It's a bit suspicious, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
I can't. Just a bit. Sorry. I'm like fucking gone. You guys are going to like caffeine Jerry more than tequila Jerry.
Probably.
Holy shit. Okay.
Remember when we almost called ourselves overly caffeinated?
Yes, this was what it would have been.
This is what it was. That's why we said that, because not only, but here we thought we were just overly caffeinated. We have ADHD.
Joke's on us. It had nothing to do with the caffeine.
We're like this when we're so sober.
Oh.
Okay.
It's just really heightened right now.
Yeah.
I have like no filter. Like normally my ADHD manifests as me like walking into a room and repeating over and over again, why am I here?
Yeah.
Or staring at my phone going, where was I supposed to go? Like, what app was I going to open up?
I feel like we're definitely both the hyperactive right now instead of the inattentive.
Yes. Yes. Right now it is like all over the place.
Yeah.
Took a Dayquil right before this. I almost took a NyQuil to just see how crazy I could get. But I really am susceptible to drowsy stuff, so that couldn't work. I stupidly took my children around my nephew, knowing that he had like just been sick a couple days earlier, and I was like, "That's fine, germs are gone."
Yeah,
he seems fine. He's not. He was, but like my kids stick everything in their mouth, and so I literally found Forrest or Ollie, I don't remember which one, with the snot sucker in their mouth. And I was like, well, for fuck's sake, like, even if he's better, that's probably not. So both my kids caught a cold and then coughed directly into my mouth. And so now I have a cold.
Yeah. That's the way she goes. Not COVID.
No, I was COVID tested and negative.
We good.
Yep.
Son. Okay. Hi. I love you both so much.
Love you too.
Love you too. So I worked at a pet store for 4 years, and this is the craziest thing that happened there. Trigger warning, it involves gross bowel movements.
Okay.
I know. I was like,
been there, done that.
I will start off by saying I was an assistant manager at the store and had called in this day. And let's just say the one who took over for me that day does not talk to me much anymore. One of my coworkers was at the register like an hour before closing, and a customer frantically runs in and asks, "Do you have a bathroom?" As my coworker describes it, this person was clearly on some, if not many, drugs. My coworker tells him where the bathroom is, and they go to the complete opposite side of the store. They walk.
I don't know my left or right either. It's fine.
I know, it's hard. Well, this is pretty unforgivable. They walk into the back room where clearly there is backstock of dog and cat food where any normal person would just turn around. They grabbed the mop bucket and shit in it.
Oh my God!
And then they vomited into it.
Oh my God!
They also walked out so calm that like nothing happened.
Well, they probably felt so much fucking better.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, thank you."
A little bit out of this end, a lot of bit out of this one, and back to Walmart I go.
I come in the next day and the other managers tell me the story and say, "I am so glad you didn't come in because I have no idea what you would have done." Probably cried. They had to use the forklift to pick the mop bucket up.
Oh my God.
Drive it out back and slam the forklift against the dumpster to get the mop bucket to fall off so no one would have to touch it.
Oh my God.
Needless to say, I'm glad I called in.
Could you imagine seeing that? Like mop
bucket full of shit.
Yeah, like
living through.
Yes. Ew, at that point it's like throw the mop bucket away.
Yeah, well, that's what they did, into the dumpster.
I thought you were saying they just like emptied it into the dumpster.
They just had to get it off of the things. They probably picked it up because the forklift has those things.
Yeah.
And you gotta like,
I know so much about forklifts, about heavy machinery. Boy, don't I.
If there's one thing I know about,
it's heavy machinery. Ollie's obsessed. He's obsessed with the word excavator.
Ooh.
And we learned about pavers. One day they were paving our street.
That day pissed me off because I tried to get here and I was so mad.
Well, my kids were just like obsessed with watching them. Mm-hmm. And the pavers got a kick out of it because they felt so special to be like watch that intently.
Right.
Well, I ran to go take a... We call them pooparooskies in our house.
Sure.
So, well, not all the time. Just it's a fun thing. Most of the time we call it a shit.
Because we're adults.
Anyway, I tell Ollie.
I just imagine your kid being like, "I got a shit."
No, he calls them toodalooskies and pooparooskies, and if it's a big one, it's a poopacalypse.
Perfect.
So anyway, I'm taking a pooparooski, okay? And I'm like, did I just hear the front door? And so I finish up as quickly as I possibly can. And I run out, and Ollie is closing the door. Forrest, he opened the door for Forrest to crawl out my front door, and then he followed, and I found them both on the front steps. And the pavers stopped what they were doing and were like, "Oh, there's the mom." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm here. It's fine."
Just taking a shit.
You guys know. You know. We shitting.
we be shitting.
Thanks for watching my kids. I have the door locked. He unlocked it.
You gotta watch that.
Well, I know, but they were fast. They were faster than I thought.
Noah did that. He had like a.
I didn't know Forrest could do stairs like that too.
It's alarming.
Yeah,
I had to get like put stuff in front of my doors forever because Noah had like an unlocking opening friggin' thing that he would do all the time, and I was like, stop doing that, because I'd just be literally in the other room, and then all of a sudden he never got out, but I could hear him unlock and go to open.
Oh no, my kids get the fuck out.
They're like, bye.
Yeah, they move in silence like lasagna.
Is that Lil Wayne?
That is Lil Wayne.
Real G's move in silence like lasagna.
That was my kids. One time when I moved into Kent, when I was moving into the dorms, my mom was just staring out the window. Like I walked it. Sure. You ever seen like a movie scene where someone walks in and there's like someone longingly staring out the window and you're like, hey, they're thinking some shit right there. Well, that was my mom. And she turned her, without even turning around, she goes, Jerry, who's Wheezy? I was like, what the fuck? And she goes, that person's shirt says Free Wheezy. It's like, this Lil Wayne, mom. Let me tell you about Fireman sometime, okay? Anyway.
But Free Wheezy.
Mrs. Officer. Wee. Anyway.
Okay.
Oh my God. Can you guys tell our ADHD is really bad?
It is off the fucking rails today. Hey, ladies. I run a security unit for a major corporation. I won't say any names, but just know that if you break down on the side of the road, you call into us and we come to tow you in approximately 2 to 4 hours or longer. Anyways.
I wonder if your company is 3 of the same letter.
So weird. Anyways, a seemingly small part of my job is to be the eyes and ears for potential workplace violence or just potential issues. About mid-July of 2019 BC, that's before COVID, as we'd like to say.
Love it.
I was sitting enjoying a nice turkey Sammie. I added this one because of how well it's written. Guys,
if you write your scandal well,
it's going in there. I'm just letting you know. I don't even give a fuck what the story is.
At this point.
It's just a good story. Living my absolute best freaking life when a woman from the top floor took a personal phone call approximately 10 feet away from my lunch and I tell everyone on their first day to keep the private conversations private because although I'm deaf in one ear, I can hear everything in this room. It's the lobby, not really a room. So, anywho, this lady, we'll call her woman A, gets a call from her doctor's office and on speakerphone discusses her recent STD checkup. I would love to say this doesn't happen often, but that would be me lying. That's how she wrote it in all caps. So, anyways.
Sorry.
Bless.
Thank you.
Anyways, woman A has tested positive for chlamydia and syphilis, which I mean, who among us?
Been there.
I mean, it's not
for
that.
50% of it, you know?
Yeah, me too. 50%.
Yeah.
Guess which one? My eyes got big, but I stared at my sandwich and my ears seemed to just lock in on this conversation. I love that because you're like, I'm not listening, but you're like, I'm listening.
I get lost in so many people's conversations, like when we used to go to restaurants and stuff.
And then I hate when people are trying to have a conversation with me. I'm like, sorry, I'm involved over here.
Don't be rude. I'm listening to that table. I'm not listening to a fucking thing coming out of your mouth. I bet that's related to ADHD.
Oh my God, I bet it is.
I can almost say with certainty that it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
So she has a husband who works on the top floor with her, but has been sleeping with another man on the bottom floor. She's just going on and on and on to the poor woman on the phone reading her results. Approximately 15 seconds later, the young man comes to see her in the lobby, and she just tells him right there out in the open and begins to panic and has no idea. And now he has no idea how he's going to break the news to his fiance.
Oh no!
About how they should go get tested. So he just calls her to tell her
right in the lobby,
right in the freaking
All of this is happening in the lobby?
Where this person is just sitting there. She, her is her pronoun. Okay. So she's just sitting there in the lobby, like, eating a fucking sandwich.
You got a front row seat to this whole shit show. Wow.
Oh, it gets better. Well, here comes the husband down the elevator to have lunch with his wife.
The other guy's still there?
Yes. They leave this young man here to have it out with his fiance. So I don't know if they knew, but then, and that's when I hear yelling and shouting. This is the perfect time for woman A to tell her husband that she's been cheating and has an STD and he needs to get checked out. The husband comes running up the hall. And now I'm standing in between two grown men who are upset, angry, crying, and yelling.
Oh, no.
That's right. All 5'6" of me just start standing there in between two 6-foot-tall men. And then she just puts a smiley face emoji. So I can just imagine her being like, Finally, the husband laughs and goes, I guess it's a good time to tell you I've been sleeping with your sister. And that baby she's carrying around might be mine.
This is not fucking real. This is not fucking real. This can't be fucking real. Oh my God.
She puts an eyes emoji. Items were thrown. The police were called. 3 people got fired that day after an investigation by HR took place. It was all the building could talk about until March of 2020. And she goes, I never did finish that Sammie, though. Rest in peace, Turkey Sammie. You were a real one. Love you guys and your podcast.
If that Turkey Sammie could talk,
it would have written this story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy
shit.
He
like really wasn't fucking her if he just said that.
I do know of someone who
that really happened to?
Well, they got separated from the husband and the sister slept with the husband.
Do I know this person?
No.
Oh. One time I was really mad because I can't believe I'm telling this story, but I will. Because my first child's first father, I was like crazy about him and he was way older than me. And I was very immature and he and I split up. So I thought it was a good idea because his roommate had been hitting on me.
Yep.
And I was like, I'm going to sleep with his roommate. Why? Because this is going to be something I could throw at his face later. That was the sole reason
I cannot believe you're talking about this right now.
It was the one roommate.
I know who it is. I know exactly what this is, which is why I can't believe you're saying it.
Well, so he knew that that's what the situation was
Who
too. Did? The roommate.
No, I mean, does everyone know that this is a situation?
Who's everyone?
I wasn't following at first.
Yeah. So he and I had just been like kind of flirting and neither one of us had any feelings for each other. We were just like, we're going to do this. He wanted to because I was young and hot. And I was like, this is revenge. Again, I was young and immature and hot.
So
it happens. And then later on,
morning.
I'm fighting with the ex. Because we were like kind of talking about getting back together, but then he was being kind of a dick. And I was like, oh yeah? Well, I
too can play that game.
Well, guess what? I fucked your roommate. And he was like, yeah, he told me like the night after it happened.
And you're like, wow, that wasn't as satisfying as I thought.
Wow. Yeah, I did all that for nothing.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know.
Don't do that. Don't revenge have sex with people. Or do. Who gives a fuck?
I did not know that.
I know. I kept that a secret until just now. Surprise.
Whoa.
It was fun.
Okay.
Good. It's a good story.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, shit.
No, the other one I liked.
Well, that's what I thought you were talking about.
No. I actually liked him.
We got to use like fake names.
Okay.
Anyway.
So here's the next one. God, what is happening to me? So this happened about a year ago at the grocery store I worked at. Okay. So this happened at like 5 a.m. The grocery manager and the store's bookkeeper were the only 2 people in the store getting ready to open. We had just gotten a grocery truck delivery. About 30 minutes after the truck leaves, they get a call from a man claiming to be the truck driver that had just left. Spoiler alert, it wasn't really the guy. The guy on the phone says that the store failed to pay him for the delivery, which isn't how anything works. And they ask how much is owed, and he replied with a quaint $15,000.
What?
So instead of calling, anyone or even questioning it, they decide to empty the safe and all the cash registers.
What? Okay, my husband is an accountant for a like a company. Like he's a corporate accountant. So he's not just our producer.
He's also an accountant.
He's an accountant.
No one asks you questions when you say you're an accountant.
So, but they work with food product. So he is in charge of like paying the truck drivers. Sure. Like it comes from that company. The grocery store is not responsible for paying them at all. It's the company that like hires the like delivery. You know what I mean?
These people are just like,
so like Oscar Mayer would pay the truck to deliver their product to the stores.
Yeah.
As far as I know.
Yeah.
I don't think it goes the other way around.
He doesn't work for Oscar Mayer.
I would have to check with my accountant.
So this says they leave the store completely unlocked and unattended to go meet this guy. The scammer, for some reason, refused to drive back to the store, so he had them meet him in a Hooters parking lot.
What? Was there a truck there?
The guy didn't even have a semi-truck.
What? And they gave him the money?
And they just gave the guy the money. You're saying literally everything.
I have not read this. It does feel like a conversation, though.
Yes. They gave the guy the money. We were not able to give cash or change back for almost 3 weeks.
Oh, my God.
Needless to say, they got fried, but I think it means fired. Honestly, I would go get fried after that. She said, well, I ran into the bookkeeper 2 days ago at Target, and I asked her where she ended up going after our store. She said they retired after COVID hit. This all happened during COVID. And I am just sitting there thinking, yeah, okay, girl, I know exactly why you don't work there anymore. We still talk about it to this day. I wonder if those two were like in on it. Because how are you that, like, you don't know? You know?
I love a conspiracy.
Me too, and I just came up with it.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, because that's not the fuck how that works. And I wouldn't think that the bookkeeper, like whoever made that call.
The store manager doesn't know how the fuck that works? Come on.
That's what I'm saying. Or that like they didn't know to call corporate to be like, hey, what's protocol here?
Yeah, what do I do?
Yeah.
They just were like, yeah, sure, I'll take all of the cash we have
empty
and meet
the safe?
Yeah.
No. Especially because it happened in the evening. That would have been like hey, we're going to call corporate tomorrow morning if like no one told us what's going to happen if I don't pay you.
Right.
If it doesn't happen tonight, like
that's exactly what it is. What would happen if I didn't pay you? Yeah. You come back and take everything that you just unloaded? Not how that fucking works.
I don't think you're going to do that.
Nope.
Wow. Or come and do it.
Yeah.
Come and take back all of this bread.
Let's see how fucking
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay.
Wow.
My local high school at the time I was attending had 2 major scandals. I live in a very small rural town, and I graduated with, you know what's cool about having ADHD?
Huh?
Is that I don't remember like any of these until I'm about halfway through the story. So I'm like, this is new for me too. What's going to happen? My local high school at the time I was attending had 2 major scandals. I live in a very small rural town, and I graduated with 83 kids in my class.
Wow.
That's so small. So I thought we lived in a small
Me
town.
too, because we graduated with 250, but
Yep.
I don't think all of them went to our school.
Right.
Like some of them went to the Career Center,
Yes.
but still I thought that wasn't that many.
No, yeah. So these stories were hot news. Oh, we know all about that. My freshman and sophomore year, 9th and 10th grade, we had a counselor who was notoriously kind of a goofy guy. He was louder and very extroverted, not overly helpful in matters the school counselor dealt with, like college and class scheduling, but he was very involved in student drama.
Got it.
There you go. So my sophomore year, he kind of abruptly vanished. It seemed really strange because his wife taught at the school as well. Rumors were flying around, of course, but as people found out the truth, everyone knew. He had become addicted to heroin and had been taking it throughout the day during school. He had been high at work and had actually passed out. I don't know if it was an overdose. And he was found by our principal.
That's really fucking sad.
I know. Well,
and scary.
There's good news at the end. He had been storing his drugs in various places in his office, including replacing his ink cartridges and pens with it.
Oh my god!
That sounds like fucking
wow,
like Inspector Gadget shit.
Yeah.
He had also been known to confiscate kids' phones. Oh, and it was later discovered he pulled nudes and explicit images from them and kept them on a hard drive in his office. That's terrible. Ugh. Needless to say, he did not help me apply for colleges. The other scandal involved a middle-aged lunch worker. Oh, she was well known in the community. Look at me, I'm like remembering. She was well known in the community and had 5 or 6 kids who all graduated. Or why was that the most shocking part?
Yeah.
Like, damn. Who were going to graduate from our school. One of them was in my grade. She was sending nude photos via Facebook Messenger to a boy who was a senior when I was a sophomore. He was her son's classmate. This boy, of course, told and showed everyone, which is fucking terrible that either one of those things happened, including me, who was in an art class with him. The boy was quite promiscuous, and his car was named the Baby Maker.
Ew.
I hate high schoolers. I'm kidding. Unless you name your car the Baby Maker.
I don't care about your sex life, about your promiscuity like that. I don't care. I'll be safe, but I don't love that you called your car the Baby Maker. Like that makes me unsettled.
Yeah. She, of course, was fired, and her kids still attend the school. Now this says, P.S. The counselor did go to rehab and got the help he needed for his addiction. Thank you, ladies. Love you both.
Well, I'm glad he got help for his addiction, but all that other stuff was really yucky. And gross.
Yeah.
Well, that was wild.
Yep.
Wild ride.
So there's... Oh, sorry. I'm getting kicked like really hard. So there's those.
Well, thanks guys for your scandals. It's like so cool. I know that it's sometimes we'll pull things from like Reddit and stuff for like Am I the Asshole episodes or like Amazon review type episodes. But like it's so like these are stories that
personal stories.
Yeah, these are most of the time like no one else has heard these before.
Yes.
Like it's not like
on the internet somewhere that you can find.
Yeah, it's so cool. I mean, it's sad. Sometimes it's sad and like unfortunate, but it's like a fun, it's like our gossip time.
That's why we don't get a lot of gossip anymore. And if you're a small town like we are, that's like all we had to do when we were growing up was like gossip.
Yeah, what's so-and-so doing? And now we get to gossip like with people in the UK.
Yeah, we do want them to be real stories.
Yeah.
So don't tell me your cousin, sister's brother and tell me a creepypasta story. I'll be very upset.
I hate the idea of creepypasta.
Oh, it's scary.
But anyway.
Okay.
I need to blow my nose because I'm sounding like some kind of creature. So anyway, that's that on your guys' scandals for this round. Yay. Thanks so much. We love you a whole lot. We will see you next week.
All right.
We're out.
Goodbye.